So now we get to Star Trek Nemesis. And what I realize is this is the first time I've seen the movie all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces and I really wanted to finish it, but this is the first time I've seen it from beginning to end. And now I know why, because I really hated this fucking movie. I don't know which I think is worse, Insurrection or Nemesis. Now, watching these again. Because they're both really fucking boring. I think they're both lazy direction, lackluster direction. Stuart Baird, the guy wasn't even a fan of Star Trek. He even has said he doesn't like Star Trek. He never liked Star Trek. So I'm like, why the fuck did he direct this movie? I'm guessing he directed because, hey, it's part of a franchise. If it's a hit, I can go get other jobs. But it wasn't a hit. So he didn't get a bunch of other jobs. I know Stuart Baird was more known as an editor. He directed U.S. Marshals. I liked U.S. Marshals. I liked Tommy Lee Jones in it. I liked Wesley Snipes, Robert Downey Jr. I liked the movie. It's not as good as The Fugitive, but I liked U.S. Marshals, where Tommy Lee Jones plays the same character he played in The Fugitive. I liked it. He also did Executive Decision. And when I read up that the producer of this film, Rick Berman, said, I got Stuart Baird, first off, for a fresh face that brings something new to the table, and also because of the fun action that he brought to Executive Decision. And I just... What fucking movie did he see? What fun? What action? I didn't see fun. I didn't see action. I saw a bunch of boring bullshit. Because this guy doesn't know how to... U.S. Marshals... I like the movie. I remember it being a little bit too long, though. Executive Decision and this movie, they feel long. This guy, considering he's a fucking editor, he doesn't know how to pace a fucking movie. And that's astonishing to me. You know what, I'm going to say, technically, this, to me, I feel is worse because of the comedy that I did not like at all. Because of, the Worf's pimples, Picard put the music on Mumbo, Data trying to mess with the kid, which went fucking nowhere. It was so inconsequential and so forgettable, and it did feel like a two-part episode of the show. And people say, what's wrong with being like the show? You do be like the show. Hell, one of my favorites is Star Trek the Motion Picture. And to me, that is, exploring the stars, Star Trekking. Star Trek 3. Star Trek 3 is like an episode of the show, but I think Star Trek 3 is fucking good. That and Part 4 are two of my favorites. You have to do it well. This didn't do it well, in my opinion. Did it boring. And then this, they want to go more darker at that light. This is darker bad. This is how you do the darker stuff well with Next Generation. This did it bad. All this was a shitty remake of the Wrath of Khan. I mean, wow, they remade Wrath of Khan before Into Darkness. And that's what it is, because it's another person who he's got some personal grudge against Picard, in this case because he's a clone of Picard. Even though the grudge makes no fucking sense, which I'll get to. He has his weapon that can destroy everything, kind of like what Khan had. You even have the ending where a character who's not the main character, but the character that tries not to show emotion, Data Spock. But before that, they leave a part of themselves. Like Data puts his memory into this android called B4, which I'll get to that. Spock puts the thing in McCoy. And then they both go in and die. But they don't think they die. But there's that part of that McCoy, which we see in Star Trek 3. There's a part of Data and B4, because B4 starts singing the song that only Data knew. I mean, how much of Wrath of Khan do you have to fucking be? Why are you remaking Wrath of Khan? For fuck's sake, man. I know, because Wrath of Khan was the most popular one. I enjoy Wrath of Khan. I think it's a damn good flick. But it's not, I mean, well, it is in my top 5, but it'd be number 5. Because my favorites is 4, 1, 3, 6, then 2. And even the ending with the cloaking ship, because it's with the Romulans, you had that in part 6, The Undiscovered Country, where they had a cloaked ship. And you had a battle. Even when Riker, so that's another thing they stole from Star Trek 6, though. Even the bit with Riker is fighting Ron Perlman, and literally Ron Perlman is hanging, Riker's hanging on, and Riker kisses the guy 3 fucking times. Like Kirk at the end of Star Trek 3. I have had enough. No, wait, it's I have had enough of you. 3 fucking times. And then, like Christopher Lloyd fell, Ron Perlman falls. Instead of Shatner kicking, it's Jonathan Frakes' Riker kicking. How many fucking other Star Trek movies are going to fucking steal? Maybe this is Jar Jar Abrams' favorite fucking Star Trek movie. I'm not the only one who hates this. The cast hates it. LeVar Burton, he hated the film. He said, why did it flop? He said, because it sucks. Marina Sirtis, who plays Choi, which you have this weird scene that she gets raped. Or mind raped, I'm sorry. She gets, as she calls, violated. Which I thought that was fucking strange. I did. You're trying to do something that has been done in the Star Trek before. But when you put rape in there, or mind rape, first off, I think someone mentioned that they kind of did that in the show, where someone fucked with Troy's mind. But I didn't watch much of the show. But it just felt weird. It just felt like... This isn't a movie where the fucking B4 prototype is going, why do you have a shiny head when looking at Patrick Stewart? Just weird. Just comes off as weird. And Stuart, I mean, and a lot of the cast hated Stuart Baird. LeVar Burton hated him. He's like, man, this guy's an idiot. He didn't even know his name. He called him Laverne Burton. And he thought Geordie's character was an alien. Geordie LaForge, you know, he had the visor on the show. Here he's got his eyes. Stuart Baird thought Geordie LaForge was an alien. And a lot of people just did not like the film. This film didn't do well. I know some say the film flopped because of box office. At the time, you had a Lord of the Rings film. You had a Harry Potter film. You had Star Trek fatigue. Because you had Voyager and Deep Space Nine. And this is the 10th Star Trek film. I'm trying to think if Enterprise was on at this time. This was 2002. I want to say it was. Could be wrong on that. But god damn, man. This fucking movie. Even the villain's motive doesn't make any fucking sense. I think I'm more even though I think this is worse, I think I'm more animated in this range. Because this one, I had nothing to talk about. It's like, how do you describe air? How do you describe the color white? You know, how do you describe it? Not much to, like, you give me nothing to work with other than stupid pimples and stupid shit. Flotation device humor shit. Here, like, the villain, Tom Hardy, who doesn't do a bad job. Apparently, he was a clone from the Romulans. and he was going to be replacing Picard, but it didn't work out. So, okay, we have no use for you, human clone. Let's put you to slavery with their sort of cousins called the Remans. So the Romulans beat the shit out of him for 10 years. And Ron Perlman, who's his Reman viceroy, helps him. Okay, so you hate the Romulans because they beat the fuck out of you. You put them into slavery. So you want to make a war on the Federation. Wait, not the Romulans? No. He wants to work with the Romulans to attack the Federation. And maybe they attack the Romulans later, but I'm like, I get why you want Picard. You're dying, you need his blood for a transfusion, otherwise you'll die. But why are you making a war on the Federation when the Federation did nothing to you, yet you're working with the people who beat the fuck out of you for 10 years as a slave? And I'm like, what? Why? Why are you not wanting to conquer the Romulans when they beat the fuck out of you and they hate the Remans who you're working with? Like, Romulans hate them. So why are you fucking doing that? We're going to work with you, and we both hate the Romulans, but we're going to attack the Federation. Why? You have to make... See, Wrath of Khan made sense. They reference an episode of the original series, Space Seed. And this is one of the reasons why Wrath of Khan works, and this doesn't. Khan, he was bred to do this. Be more powerful, be smarter. In the episode of the show, Captain Picard defeats him. Granted, it's weird because Khan is superior in strength, but hey, it's Captain Picard, it's Captain Picard. Defeats him. They put him on this colony. Many years later, you get to Star Trek II. You find out that colony, part of it was Khan's wife. Khan's wife and other people died because they were stuck on that colony. Who put him on that colony? Kirk. Who does he want revenge on? Kirk. He wants to fuck him up for the death of his wife. And we already had the backstory that he was a character that wanted to, that was sort of bred and made to conquer and to, bred for certain things. And now you got this revenge aspect, which makes more sense. Here, it's like, okay, you need Picard for his blood, but you're building up this hate for the Romulans, but yet we're going to work with them because I hate the Federation more. Why? Just because Picard works for them? And you hate Picard? It's funny, another thing is there's this weird picture of Picard when he was younger and he's bald. What's funny though, why is he bald in the young picture of himself? I was talking with my friend Michael Keane, Phantasm, about this. And he was telling me about how on the show, there are flashbacks where Picard has hair. So wouldn't this young clone have hair? No, no. Stretch that. I'm getting all discombobulated. Okay, how do I word it? Let me backtrack. This Picard is bald. And no, I did not pay this much money for it. It was 50 cents. Because I knew I would have to review it someday. And 50 cents costs a lot cheaper than renting it on VOD or something. Plus for 50 cents, I'd be curious to look at the features. Which weren't much, but hey, it was worth a try. And at least something to show for 50 cents. And for the collection, 50 cents, 50 cents. You can't buy anything else for 50 cents. Picard looks at a picture of his old self. Bald. Yet, in my friend Michael's phantasm telling me about how on the show he had hair. Even in the flashback for Tom Hardy's character, where he's talking about how he was a slave for 10 years and Ron Perlman's character helped him, he has hair. He has hair. So then why, in this one picture, does Picard not have hair? And in fact, why would Tom Hardy not have hair? It seemed, because I looked up some info, there is a shot with Patrick Stewart from the TV show. He's a little bit younger, but it's Patrick Stewart, and he still has some hair. He has a receding hairline, but he had hair. Why doesn't he have hair? I just, it's like, well, the audience is too stupid to realize that it's a clone of Picard, so he's gotta be bald too. Okay? Whatever. And just Stuart Baird, he doesn't know how to pace a film. This is literally one of those movies that I was watching, and every 10 minutes I would have to fucking pause it, take a piss, leave a piss, come back, watch for 20 minutes, pause it, check on my computer, check my emails, play it, pause it, get something to fucking eat, play it, pause it. That really shows I'm not getting drawn the fuck in. Yeah, the wedding of Riker and Troy, Whoopi Goldberg cameo, Data scening, which I'm tired of him fucking scening. I never wanted to hear Data scene again. I was tired of him laughing and Generations. I hated him scening in Insurrection. I hate him scening in this. Sadly, Data in these movies is one of the more annoying characters. Except First Contact. He was not annoying at all. The other movies, he was like the most annoying character. Sadly. Because I didn't give a fuck about this emotion chip. Sorry. When he had emotions, I was not interested. And then, like, you have this weird tone change where, you know, after the wedding, there's dialogue with Worf where I guess Troy's species, their tradition is to be naked. Because Worf says, I'm not going to be appearing naked. And Troy goes, it's tradition. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? What the fuck? This is the same movie where this Troy's going to get fucking mind raped. They do this scan. There's an android on another planet. They go on this weird Dune buddy, which... Would Star Trek have Dune buddies? Why wouldn't they just beam to where the fuck they need to go? Or why wouldn't they just have a shuttle to fly there? Why wouldn't they need fucking Dune buddies? That just seems so weird, Dune buddies. Why the fuck do you have a Dune buddy? Why do you have a Dune buddy? What the fuck? Maybe in a way I do hate this more than Insurrection, but you know what? I'm sure at the end, when I'm calling my head, I'm like, okay, I like the cast, I like Tom Hardy, I like Ron Perlman, I like certain scenes I'll get to. Well, I already said, like, when the shuttle goes through the thing, there's a scene with the shuttle, when they're escaping the Enterprise, and Data and Picard going through the shuttle, and their shuttle going through the ship. But goddamn, man. They find these parts of this android. Things attack them. B4. Get it? Because he was made before Data, so he's called B4. And he's asking stupid questions. Why do you have a shiny head? What's wrong with his head? And for some reason, this entire scene looks bleached. This car chase scene. Which I know is weird to say a car chase in a Star Trek movie. This whole car chase is bleached out. That's the only way to describe it. It's bleached. Just think of the word bleached and you watch the scene. Like, everything's white. So white. Why is everything bleached out? They get out of there. They jump their car into the shuttle. Again, I don't know why they couldn't just... Maybe I wonder if they said it in dialogue, why they couldn't just beam out. I can't remember. They probably... I have to assume they did. Otherwise, why the fuck else? I'm sure they did. I just forget it. They take it back. They looked at this B4 prototype. Janeway from Voyager, I guess she's an admiral now. They go to see Tom Hardy, while Data is downloading his memory into B4. So I guess so that he can have an opportunity to explore his potential. But then looking up some info, because I thought of this, wait a minute, what if he's evil? What if he fucks up? Apparently wasn't evil Data on the show. I didn't follow the show. Apparently it wasn't evil Data. So if that's the case, how you know this thing won't turn fucked up? See, Stuart Baird, I actually do some research. Unlike you. But then what's sad is, it said written by John Logan, but story by John Logan, Rick Berman, and Brent Spiner. You think Brent Spiner, wouldn't he know that more than me? So what are you doing, Brent Spiner? What are you doing? Ron Perlman as Viceroy, that's cool. Didn't recognize him, had to look him up. Tom Hardy, it's not bad. Lo and behold, the B4 is downloading information. We get the backstory of Tom Hardy's character. Again, I don't understand how he hates the Romulans who beat the fuck out of him for 10 years, but he wants to take over the Federation. Troy gets mind raped, aka a violation. Picard gets beamed onto the bad guy's ship. Tom Hardy's like, what am I if you exist? Sort of that thing of, you are me and I am you. I'll just watch fucking Replicant with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Better fucking movie. Dealing with clones. I reviewed that film when I did my Jean-Claude Van Damme marathon for those who want to hear my opinion on it. Replicant is a much better movie than this. You think it's the fake Data, but it's the real Data. You have this boring shootout with no life and not much direction into it. Ships attacked. The bad guys have this ship as a cloaking device like Star Trek 6. Tired of these fucking rehashes. Picard tries to appeal to Tom Hardy's humanity. It doesn't work. Some Romulans actually come in to help the Enterprise. They're trying to find the ship because it's called Troy. Marina Sirtis in this weird lighting. Like she's concentrating to find Ron Perlman's character who helped mind rape her. This weird lighting, like this one fucking beam of light, it's like on her face. I'm like, what the? I didn't understand what the fuck that was about. Feels it. There's a coordinates. They attack. Another thing I would give this movie over Insurrection, there's a few scenes that look cool. There's a scene where the ship collides with the bad guy's ship. Granted, I don't know how that all works. Don't they just blow up or something? But I guess not. And it looks cool when the saucer's like going into the bad guy's ship. It looked cool. Okay. Riker versus Ron Perlman's not much because the fights. Director with no tension, no excitement. Stuart Baird is not a good director on that. I'm sorry. I like U.S. Marshals, but based on this executive decision, I don't consider him a good director. U.S. Marshal, I think he just got lucky. Maybe Tom Lee Jones and Wesley Snipes sat his ass down to do some shit, you know. Maybe it's like, I better listen to Tom Lee Jones. He'll beat the fuck out of me. Maybe it was that. Riker does the Star Trek 3 kit that Kirk did to Christopher Lloyd. I have had enough of you. Kiss Ron Perlman to his death. Data jumps from one ship to another to get to Picard. Picard shoots some bad guys. You get this nothing fight, knife fight with Tom Hardy and this stupid impaling where Picard, oh, just does this, and the guy like runs into it like an idiot. And then the stupid thing where Data comes in, there's this thing, puts on Picard, tells him to leave, and makes him leave. I guess he didn't bring one for himself, which I'm thinking, why did he not bring one of those for himself? I know they said this device, it can only take one person, but did it also say there's only one in existence? You would think there'd be more than one. 2, 4, 7 prototypes. That's just one. But apparently there's just one because Data just brought one. Even though he was on Enterprise, he could have just grabbed a couple. But no, he just has one. I don't know. I guess there's no 2 or 3 of those little things. And then there's no emotion build up to this. Just when Picard leaves, then Data says goodbye, turns, shoots, blows up. It's like, oh, I guess Data's dead now. Nothing compared to the Wrath of Khan scene. Nothing. Nothing. Not even close. And that's the thing, when you're ripping a Wrath of Khan and you do it badly, it shows so much more clearer. They kind of mourn Data's loss, kind of. Say goodbye to Riker, kind of. Because he's going off to another ship. Toss to the prototype B4. B4 starts singing, so I guess Data's in there. So then what was the point of killing Data? Because even Brent Spiner was like, oh, if they made a new one, maybe Data could come back. Then why'd you kill him off? So that you thought you could direct the next one? Star Trek 11, The Search for Data? I had enough fucking rehashes in these fucking movies, man. I say that because the J.J. Abrams films are coming up with that shit. Star Trek Generations to me is the worst Star Trek film. After that, I would say the J.J. Abrams, at least the first two, 2009 Into Darkness, because to me, the whole setup pissed me off. The whole setup of the film pissed me off. The whole idea of the film with it's a prequel, but then not really a prequel, and I'll get to that. So at least those two, the first two. Beyond, I've seen much worse. I would rather watch Star Trek Beyond than this. The Star Trek Beyond, I did watch that. I kind of watched them out of order just to, I don't know, because. At least Star Trek Beyond, it didn't have weird stuff like Troy getting mind raped. It was less boring. I will say, I think Justin Lin, his pacing in that film was much better compared to, say, Stuart Baird's pacing. And, you know, I'd rather deal with the Beastie Boys bullshit than allow the boring crap in this movie. The plot was stupid. The ideas were stupid. The death of Data was fucking pointless. I didn't feel any emotion from it. I just felt like, what? And then Data's kind of alive with B4, so what? So that they could mourn for 1 minute and 52 seconds? Or however fuck long it was? What was the point of that? Between these two, I'll give the slight edge to this over this simply because this one, I think Tom Hardy does it better. His character's a little bit more interesting than F. Murray Abraham. Ron Perlman, I like the design, the look of that creature, the Remans. I like the look of them. The scene where Data, I've already said this like 5 times now, but like there's at least some bit more stuff going on compared to Insurrection. But man, I mean, I think this is one of those times that maybe by the time I review Star Trek Beyond, I'll still say this is worse than this. But I have a feeling if you give me like a week or 2 weeks or a month from now, that'll change. I'll say this is worse than this. I guess I'm just kind of... I don't like either one. I hate both of them. This one, at least, it didn't have the shitty humor, and I like the cool shot with the ship colliding with the other ship. Like, there's like a teeny positive I could give, while this I didn't really have any positives. So it's like this much better, like a centimeter, but they might as well be in the same fucking boat. They fucking both suck ass. Like, Insurrection made me so bored I was ready to fall asleep in my own fucking rant. This one was just stupid plot, shitty remake of Wrath of Khan. Ugh. Boring, lazy, lackluster action. God damn, man. Villain's plight made no fucking sense. The Romulans beat the fuck out of me, so let's destroy the Federation because the plot says so. Damn it. Thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you, sadly, for Star Trek 2009. Later.